I'm Venkatesh Gopal. I'm the program coordinator for MoveMe's EmpowerWISM program. This is a step up from our Women in Shared Mobility program, which just completed 5 years. And we thought 2021 was a great year to step it up a notch. And for this one, we've partnered with forward-thinking organizations such as ABB, ITS America, UITP, and Go With Flow. Since the announcement, we've had an overwhelming response from our network and many questions and clarifications about eligibility process and the assessment criteria and so forth. I have with me Sandra Phillips, the CEO and founder of MoveMe, who I thought would be the best to address some of those questions. Sandra, WISM has been your brainchild and passion project. Have you seen the shared mobility or transportation space in general change since you started?
Well, it's a very good question. I started in about 10 years ago in the space, and the space really is at the intersection, right, of technology, transportation, and urban planning, all very male-dominant fields. And unfortunately, I have to say, it hasn't changed that much. What has changed, and specifically this 2020 year, has shown more focus on the gender and equity questions that drive, transportation, specifically new forms of transportation. So I think we've gained momentum. What we now need to still do is transfer that momentum into actual action and increase diversity in the workforce. So we really increase the appeal of these new mobility products and programs to a wider audience. It's not just about gender, it's generally broaden the people that can use these services.
What is the eligibility criteria for the program? There have been some changes recently. Why is that?
So we've the biggest change probably is around the majority-owned female criteria. We originally really wanted to focus on female-owned ventures, which meant 51% or more, and have realized that perhaps was a little too ambitious given the state that the balance is in at the moment. So we've softened the criteria. Ultimately, what you need is at least one female co-founder and C-level executive in the team. If you have a higher representation of female owners or management, you'll get additional points. So the judges still look at that, but it's not you're not excluded if you have less. I think the other two criteria that you have to keep in mind, if you have to be less than 5 years old, so we're focusing on emerging companies, and you have to provide a product, service, or technology for personal mobility. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically targeted for shared mobility, but it should be ideally used or can be used in the future for that as well. The other criteria that we changed, and that's probably the other one that you're referring to, is the revenue one. We had a maximum of 350,000, which we eliminated and said it doesn't actually matter as long as you're not older than 5 years.
And the program talks about women in shared mobility, right? And you would agree most of the questions that we've got from prospective applicants is, does the applicant or the application from the venture need to be in the shared mobility service? Does it have to be a service business, a mobility service provider and operator per se, or could it be something else?
No, not at all. Obviously, it's great if we have service providers, but really our objective is to get a diverse set of applications, because shared mobility, the service providers all rely on, technology and consulting services and all sorts of other services. What we're trying to, who we're trying to support is any venture that meets, the eligibility criteria that provides a service, a product. So it can be also a product, like, I don't know, I'm thinking of car sharing, if you're checking the driving background history of drivers, that could be a product. or technology piece that feeds into the entire shared mobility chain.
The third one, and the third most frequently asked question that we've got so far is, would the applying company need to offer technology? Is it a must-have, so to speak?
No, it is not. In fact, and I always say this, technology is an enabler, but it's not the only thing you need when you want to launch or design or plan a new shared mobility service. We specifically are interested in groups that don't necessarily offer, a technology platform piece. They're welcome to apply, but they don't
right.
have to. It doesn't have to be technology enabled.
I believe that's quite clear now. So the next one is, this is such a big initiative supported by global companies, forward-thinking companies out there in transportation. MoveMe involved in this. Is there any cost involved for the venture once they win? What's it going to cost them?
There is no cost associated with this program, like $0. And part of that has to do, we decided, MoveMe has decided that it's our giving back. We normally give birthday gifts on MoveMe's anniversary, and we decided to allocate that money towards this program, and the other organizations have decided that they're allocating their time towards this for free as well. So there is no cost whatsoever.
Yeah, that's pro bono consulting.
It's pro bono consulting. You get all our help for the next 12 months for free.
Now that we know it's free, what else does the venture need to spend? What kind of time commitment are we talking about here?
So we are talking about the time commitment, but different to other incubators or accelerators, this is not a fixed program where we're trying to move you through a cookie cutter, step-by-step process. We're focusing on one venture. One venture will be, winning this award and will be a company, which basically means we're able to tailor this in a way that it best fits what that venture needs. Because from the applications I've seen, everybody's in a very different state and have different challenges. I will say, though, there is, especially during the initial, I would say probably 2 months, there is a bit of an expectation that there's a back and forth, and we have regular, let's say, bi-weekly check-ins to figure out, okay, how do we support you best? And then from there on, it's probably a monthly check-in, I would say, maybe at some point a bi-monthly check-in.
Right. Those are the top 5 FAQs we had so far from our prospective applicants. Thank you, Sandra, for clarifying all of those. I hope that this helps the prospective applicants and we get to clarify more questions as you need. We are available on social media, on LinkedIn, Twitter. Reach out to us, reach out to MoveMe if you have any more doubts on these. So the 3 things that my takeaways are from today's question answers are that EmpowerWISM is at 0 cost. It's not specifically for technology companies, and the application doesn't have to be a shared mobility service provider in specific. It could be anything that helps shared mobility in general.
That is correct. And maybe if I can add 2 more things is, 1, apply. You do not have to be the perfect match on everything. The objective is to get women-owned businesses in this space into in front of all the judges, quite frankly, as well, and help you. So apply. That's my first one. We women, and I can speak from my own experience, we have a tendency to only apply when we think we ticked every single box. And the second one is, you have exactly 6 days to submit your application. It closes at midnight on the 15th PST. So the Europeans in our network have a little bit more time, but you have 6 more days to send it in. So do it. Just do it.